Okay, so here is the A-9 video. So you are given a vertical asymptote represented either using either a picture or an arrow diagram. And then you're asked to represent the asymptote in the form that is missing and then express the asymptotic behavior using limit notation. All right, so first we've got an arrow diagram. This arrow diagram is telling us that as x approaches -3 from the right, y is approaching infinity. All right, so for my picture, what I'm not going to draw the y-axis all the time. So here's the x-axis, all right? And so x is approaching -3 from the right. All right, so I can just put wherever I want, like -3. Okay. And as x is approaching -3 from the right side, the y's are shooting up to positive infinity. And the closer and closer I get to -3, as I'm on the right of it, the y's are going to be getting huge really fast. So that's why we've got some asymptotic behavior going on. All right, so I go like this. Now, an asymptote is a vertical line, and the way that we describe it is we write x equals whatever, whatever that x value is. That's a vertical line. And y is approaching infinity. So I just want to draw a graph to the right of this asymptote. And then I want the y's to be going whoop, shooting up to positive infinity. And you could start your graph below the x-axis, you could start it above the x-axis, you can even have it doing some crazy things, and then all that really matters is the behavior of the function very, very close to -3, but to the right. So I'll just go like this. Okay. Now, in limit notation, what's going on is we've got the limit as x approaches -3 from the right. I didn't tell you what the function's called, so we'll just say f of x. All right, so that's the first one. Now, the second one, I'm giving you the picture, and you've got to do the arrow diagram. So, guys, here we have a situation where, so the asymptote is x equals x equals 1. It's hard to see, but that's x equals 1. And the graph, since this is an asymptote, and the graph is approaching that asymptote from both sides. So up here we only had x approaching -3 from one side, but this time we have x is approaching 1 from the right and the left, or the left and the right. So we're not going to have a plus or a minus up here. We're just going to have that x is approaching 1. And as x is approaching 1, and since there's not a plus or a minus, it means from both sides, the y values are approaching infinity. And so we've got the limit, whoops, I just hit the camera, as x approaches 1 of f of x equals infinity. Okay, guys, go ahead of me if you've got this, okay? Now, this time I did draw in the y-axis, all right? So we want to ask ourselves, so this time the y-axis is the asymptote. So if I look at this sequence of points as we get closer and closer to the asymptote, the x's, what are the x's approaching? What are these x values approaching? Well, they're approaching 0. Are they approaching 0 from both sides? Am I approaching this asymptote from both sides? No, I'm approaching the asymptote from the left side. So the x's are approaching 0 from the left, and the y's this time are shooting down. They're getting really, really negative really, really fast. So we're hitting some big negative numbers eventually as we get closer to 0 from the left. So negative infinity. So the limit as x approaches 0 from the left, f of x equals negative infinity. Okay, last one. X is approaching 6. As x approaches 6, y approaches negative infinity. There's no plus or minus here, guys. So this means we're going to have a graph on either side of the asymptote. And as we get closer to the asymptote, the y's are shooting down to negative infinity. So I'll just do my x-axis. X equals 6. All right, so I'll just do this dotted vertical line for my asymptote, and I'll label it x equals 6. Since there's not a plus or minus, I got to be coming from the right and the left approaching 6, and the y's are going down to negative infinity. So I could just go like this. Okay. And the limit as x approaches 6 of f of x equals negative infinity. Okay, guys, now you have a bunch to practice, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.